Disgrace. And I think it was on this channel. I did a video. I think it was a month or two ago, somewhere around there, that I had this weird feeling come, over me, and it was about social media. It was about YouTube mainly, but the feeling was that things, that I really needed just to sit back, relax, and watch to see what happened. That's how it came to my mind every time. It kept coming to my mind. Still kind of does. And most of it was because the feeling was about that some things have gone too far. People have gone, and really any social media, they've gone so far that they don't have, they think that they don't have any limits. And I think I've said this in more than one video. There's no limit to what they can say. Well, what you say has consequences. I mean, seriously, how many of us grew up, one of the first things they taught us in school, at least where I went, and everybody I've heard, one of the first things they taught us was that you can't yell fire in an open, you can't, how did it go? You can't yell fire in a crowded theater. Okay, but then what were they teaching us? The consequences. You have consequences for other people and consequences for yourself. You can't say everything you want and do everything you want. Okay, and then there was that. Plus, how many of us grew up being told another thing, as kids in school, we were taught this, maybe even before then, that you never call anybody stupid. Okay, and the other one was stupid or an idiot, and you never tell somebody to shut up. That's the way that the words, the terms they use. But this, I'm talking, they taught us that like in kindergarten. I didn't go, we didn't have a preschool where I grew up. Kindergarten was the young ones, really young ones, and I went to a private kindergarten. And that's I think it was then that one of the first things they taught us. They were teaching us that you just can't call names, you can't, just yell anything that would, harm other people, along this line. And I grew up in a place that was rather, rather conservative, okay, rather Republican. And I'm not either. So I've mentioned this in videos. I'm probably going to keep mentioning it in videos, that I don't pick a party. I don't pick a ideology. I think for myself, and that's how I see it, and that's how it's going to be done for me. Yes. I don't need somebody to tell me how to think. I don't need to tell people to tell me how bad that is, that I don't allow others to tell me how to think. No, I have a mind of my own, views of my own, ways to see things all of my own. And it's going to be, for me, the way I want to do it within the law, okay? Seriously, within the law. And, of course, there's social rules that we follow, like don't tell somebody to shut up. Don't, call them stupid, and I think we all understand what that means is really, seriously, name calling. Even children are taught not to do that. But when you get to adulthood, you think that, how many people have you seen who really do seem to think that once you're an adult, you don't have to follow this rule, but, like I said, I don't make the law. There are consequences to calling people names and there's slander, libel, defamation, defamation, whatever. So many different types. I don't make the laws. It's on there, and the reason why it's on my mind again, well, it was on my mind, or I looked something up and it was like, wow, yeah, like recent YouTuber, not too recent, I don't know what year it was. It was in the past 5 years, 6 years, I don't know. I'm not going to say because I don't have it in front of me, so I can't tell you what to look for. But yeah, you got to be careful what you say still. And I've done videos about this, and this is kind of like a little bit of the videos. By the way, not all my videos are new. I stopped using this channel. I have some videos that I put up, I just haven't made them public. So anyway, so I've mentioned this in a video. That these mean girls, the people who do parodies and all that, do they really realize that there's a limit? And maybe I should say there are consequences of how, depending on how far you go. But what's then like a newer update with that is hearing some of them saying that they're going to bump it up and do even more, do it even harsher, do them even deeper. Things that I heard that people, the people actually saying themselves what they were going to do. All that was in my mind is, well, not all that was in my mind, but what was on my mind also was these YouTube community guidelines, the changes that are coming into effect. And by the time I put this video, it might have already come into effect. But on February 25th, 2019, I believe is the date. But they're making these changes, and they're not going to allow, certain speech, like speech where your main intention, or maybe just one of your intentions, I don't know, go read it for yourself. I might misquote them. But basically, I'm not going to even try to quote them. It's that you, if you try to humiliate somebody, if that's the purpose, go read it for yourself. Okay, remember, I don't write those either, so it's not me. But I've read them, and I'm like, that's going to cut out a lot of people's channels, because a lot of people, not, of course, the most channels, but a few people do these parodies, these, gossip, these, they think, they're calling out frauds or people who are, that they feel that should get a clue that they shouldn't be doing what they're doing. Now that really, when it really comes down to it, is their opinion. Some people might not think that, and the lines kind of blur. If you think you can say whatever you want, then why are you judging the other person for saying whatever they want? Along that line. There are rules. YouTube has its own right. It's a company, corporation. Yes, yeah. Anyway, go look it up. And if you doubt me, or you think that I'm saying this, I'm not just saying this. But yeah, they have their right. They have their right to have their own rules and what they want on their platform. It's their advertisers. It's their whole thing, whole social media platform. You know what I'm saying. My goodness, I'm not getting my words up. See, I need to eat. I'm sitting here. It's 2:34, and I haven't eaten lunch. So yeah, maybe that's what I need to do. So let me make this relevant. They put these community guidelines up. The new strikes to them, I think, is more what it is. I remember the same kind of guidelines were there before, but the strikes and the way they will take your channel down and all this kind of stuff is different. I don't remember 100%. Go read yourself. Anyway, so they put it up just a few days ago, and I've seen people in their videos, the ones who do these kinds of videos, basically talking bad about somebody for whatever reason, or doing parodies, which a lot of them just seem like a lot of it seems like verbal abuse. Not everybody does that though, but yeah. Anyway, I've seen some say that they're just going, this is who they are. Of course, this is usually what the go-to is. I just can't change who I am. Anybody can change who they are, yeah. But basically, it does make me wonder if they had already seen that, or if they even know about them at all, and they're just kind of like thumping their nose at them, or I kind of quit saying I say it too much, or are they doing that, thumping their nose, thumping, what do they call that, thumping, I don't know, I would think thumping, but anyway, trying to tell them, I'm going to do what I want to do. Or do they're just not aware, and they realize how many new subscribers they got by doing whatever it is they're doing that, might be considered against the, YouTube's community guidelines, policy or whatever, rules and rules, okay? That they might not know it. They might be, innocent, or naive of the topic. Didn't read them. But yeah, so I do wonder, is there going to be a big stink, or are they going to yell, scream whenever they get, somebody strikes their channel? Because a lot of channels, whenever you're doing something that's way out there, that might cross the lines, the guidelines. People going to strike, put up a strike against you. Somebody might, and somebody might do that whether you are or not too. But yeah, it's getting kind of windy here. It's been windy, but it's getting windier, so it's kind of distracting me. But anyway, yeah, I really want to say this is the kind of like a little marker. I'm going to just keep a little tab of it. But like I was talking about from the first, it was some weird feeling that I should just sit back and relax, and because I haven't really been too relaxed, I guess, in this, and see what happens. And I'm seeing it since I was having that thought before this guideline change. Different things, the conspiracy theories thing changed, the misinformation changed, all that. I was having these feelings before then, and then those things came around. So that's kind of weird. Sneezing fit there. Anyway, mine are mainly vlogs as it is, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up, though, because I'm about to start sneezing again. If you, what do you think on the topic? If you want to subscribe, click the circle. If you want to watch another video on this channel, click one of the rectangles. Like, subscribe, comment, and share on your own social media if you would. And I'll talk to you in another video. Bye.